the mainstream media keeps reporting that Russian warships and a nuclear submarine will arrive in Cuba on Wednesday. But they're glossing over the fact that Monday and today, at the time of this recording, it's Tuesday, the mainstream media is glossing over the fact that yesterday and today, these Russian warships and the Russian nuclear submarine, they're right off the coast of Florida. They're floating around, cruising around, within sailing distance. Literally, you could hop on a freaking jet ski and jet ski out to the Russian nuclear submarine if you really wanted to. That's how close they are. But the mainstream media, they keep saying, oh, the Russian fleet arrives in Cuba on Wednesday. What about the fact that they're like 60 miles off the coast of Florida right now? Why do we keep glossing over that fact? You don't want Americans to really know how close they are to danger right now. And here's another crazy thing. They keep talking about the drills that Russia is going to do with Cuba and Venezuela. And yeah, we should be worried about that. We should be worried about the fact that Russia seems to be cozying up with all of our enemies all across the board. China, North Korea. Now they're getting in good with some of these South American countries. I mean, it's obvious what's going on. But America doesn't want Americans to really know how bad things are getting. And I'm telling you right now, things have never been this bad. Not maybe since World War II. I would argue it's worse than what happened in World War II. This could be worse than World War II if this does wind up, if this battle that's happening right now winds up coming to actual blows. Because you see, pieces are being moved around the chessboard right now. There's a lot of strategic stuff going on before the ultimate big battle that may take place. And the way it looks right now, it looks like it could happen any day. You never know. Sometimes it's just something small. And when you have Russian warships right off the coast of Florida, and you got the Navy following right behind them, you never know. Small little things could happen. Even a mistake could happen that could trigger World War III. That's how delicate this situation is, and a lot of people don't understand that. But the media is reporting about these drills and these training exercises that are going to happen, with Russia, Cuba, and Venezuela. But what they're failing to report to you all is that Russia is holding simulated strike drills in the Atlantic Ocean along the coast of Florida while they're en route to Cuba. So let that sink in. Literally, right now, not too far from where I live, there are Russian warships, Russian submarines simulating attacks on what I would assume is Florida. So basically, Russia's holding drills about what they would do if things ever got so bad that they decided, hey, let's go out here and try to strike Florida. Holding simulated strike drills along the coast of Florida as they're en route to Cuba. But the mainstream media isn't talking much about that. They're just talking about what's going to happen once this Russian little fleet, or whatever you want to call it, actually makes it to Cuba. But I hope that you all really allow this to sink in. Because for me, this is a little too close to home. I mean, way too close to home. But let's go ahead and dive into some more information right here. A flotilla of Russian ships passing within sailing distance of Florida's eastern coastline Tuesday, with the U.S. Navy and Coast Guard following close behind, according to open-source maritime and air tracking information. The Coast Guard Cutterstone Navy-guided missile destroyers USS Truxtun and USS Donald Cook and the Royal Canadian Navy Frigate HMCS Ville de Quebec sailed after 4 Russian vessels reportedly headed to Cuba, according to online maritime trackers, including Vessel Finder. The Russian flotilla, which includes the frigate Admiral Gorshkov, tanker Academic Passion, rescue tug Nikolai Shakir, and nuclear-powered submarine Kazan, is expected to make a port visit to Havana Wednesday through Monday. So, this Russian fleet of ships is currently being tailed by the U.S. Coast Guard, the U.S. Navy, and the Canadian Navy. But let's go ahead and roll this news clip. Let's see what they're saying on the news, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Russian warships, including a nuclear-powered vessel, are expected to arrive in Cuba tomorrow, where they will take part in military exercises for about a week. This comes after Russian President Putin said he could arm allies to take up against Western countries like the U.S., which support Ukraine. News Nation's Tom Dempsey joins us now. And Tom, what exactly do we know about these exercises so far?
Hey, good morning, Anna. Well, this morning we know that these military exercises will be taking place off the coast of Cuba starting tomorrow and going through towards next week. And it's going to involve the whole fleet from the Russian Navy, including a nuclear-powered submarine, an oil tanker, and a tugboat, among other military ships a part of all this. This has obviously gotten the attention of the U.S. government, who says they will be closely monitoring all this. But the Cuban government has already come out saying that these military exercises present no threat to the region and that no nuclear weapons will be used at any point during these drills. In a statement, the Cuban government wrote, "This visit corresponds to the historical friendly relations between Cuba and the Russian Federation. We also know that Russia will be holding other similar military drills off the coast of Venezuela coming up soon after these ones in Cuba." But again, this shows just some of the moving pieces happening around the world as we're seeing this tension between Russia and the United States, Anna.
So why do you think Russia might be doing this?
Well, look, Vladimir Putin, he is really upset at the recent announcement from the United States government that giving permission to the Ukrainian military to use American-made weapons inside of Russia to help defend Kharkiv, which is the second largest city in Ukraine. Like I said, that really made Vladimir Putin mad, and now he's probably trying to show some of the naval power of Russia. It's important to note that over the weekend, the Ukrainian military reported successfully targeting and hitting one of Russia's best fighter jets. This happened about 400 miles within Russia, 400 miles from the enemy line. So again, that new policy from the United States granting permission to the Ukrainian military to strike within Russia already paying off for the Ukrainian military. But it's also important to note, Anna, that the Ukrainian military reported sinking a third of Russian naval ships so far during this war. So in particular, President Vladimir Putin might be wanting to show the naval power for Russia, and he's obviously, increasing some of this this talk of against the United States. Again, saying that he would send weapons to other countries to target Western allies in the United States as well. Anna,
it feels a bit too close. What kind of military response have you seen from us here, from the U.S.?
Well, like I said, the United States government obviously very closely monitoring all this. And it's important to note that at this hour, really, the United States military is continuing to participate in a series of military drills called the Baltops 24. This is with over a dozen other NATO allies, and it involves over 100 military planes and military ships, 9,000 personnel. So again, going back to that, a lot of moving pieces right now. There's tension playing out between Russia and the United States, China and the United States. And now both sides, really using these drills to get prepared for, whatever may lie ahead. Again, hopefully this is just a show of might between both sides, Anna.
Yeah. All right. 25 minutes after the hour. Tom Dempsey, thank you so
Guys,
much.
listen, I know that I've said it in prior videos, but I honestly cannot get over the fact that every time they want to drum up support for Ukraine and they want us to send more money to Ukraine, they keep talking about what a threat Russia is. Like we should all be scared for our lives of big bad Russia. And then when Russia literally pulls up to within 60 miles of Florida, they're telling us, don't worry about it. This is totally normal. Nothing to see here. It's okay. So, I mean, which one is it? Either, hey, Russia is nothing to worry about, so we don't need to keep sending Ukraine hundreds of billions of dollars, or Russia's a threat, and we should view the fact that they're right off the coast of Florida as a freaking threat. I mean, you can't have your cake and eat it too in this kind of situation. And I hope that more people are smart enough to see, like, can you not see through the nonsense now? Can you not see how hypocritical these people are, and how much and how badly they want to control the narrative? Even when one narrative conflicts with another narrative, they don't care. They think they have that much power over you. Do not allow them to have that much power over you. Because these two things cannot be true at once. Russia cannot be posing a gigantic threat to America because they're fighting Ukraine, but not be posing a gigantic threat to America when they're 60 miles off the coast with their warships and their nuclear subs. But if you want to better understand what may happen here, do some homework tonight. Brush up on your history about the Cuban Missile Crisis. Because to me, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is going to turn into, oh, the Russian warships are going to fire on Florida. That's not what I'm here to tell you. But I do think this could easily turn into another Cuban Missile Crisis 2.0. And I'm not so sure if we'll be able to find a peaceful solution to this missile crisis if, things do wind up going that way. But for now, let me know your thoughts about all of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all soon in the next one.